Once upon a time in the world of TikTok, where you can find everything from adorable animal antics to people championing causes. TikTok stands out from other social media because of its special algorithm that tailors your feed just for you. Most TikToks are made by regular folks like you and me. Remember Cabby Lame, the machine operator turned second most followed TikToker? Seems incredible, right? The dark beginnings. But let's dive into TikTok's beginnings. Unlike your typical startup tale, TikTok didn't start in a basement with friends. It began as 3 separate apps. The first was Musical.ly, launched in China in 2014. In 2016, a giant called ByteDance launched Douyin, attracting 100 million users in a year. In 2018, ByteDance bought Musical.ly, rebranding into the TikTok we know. But there's a twist. A TikTok recruiter spilled the beans, anonymously sharing with CNBC that she worked double shifts because Chinese executives wanted round-the-clock availability. Concerns arose when it was revealed that ByteDance's Chinese employees accessed American user data. An American employee needed a user list and got back more personal info than expected from the Chinese data team. Privacy policy aside, ByteDance, a Chinese company, is subject to Chinese law, requiring data handover when the government asks. This led the US government to bar officials and their families from downloading TikTok. The plot thickens. Cybersecurity experts warned that TikTok could influence Americans on behalf of the Chinese government, censoring content and even shaping thoughts. Moderators were directed to censor videos mentioning Tiananmen Square, and in 2020, TikTok admitted censoring content about forced Muslim labor in China. TikTok's power over minds is real, but the disturbing truth runs deeper. In 2019, a Brazilian vlogger, Zal, live-streamed his final moments on TikTok. TikTok Brazil took down the video but waited 3 hours before alerting the police. During those hours, TikTok officials worked to prevent the story from going viral, crafting PR messages and press statements before finally calling the police. So, behind the catchy tunes and entertaining dances lies a TikTok tale of privacy concerns, government influence, and a troubling incident that exposes a darker side. The reality is, TikTok may not care as much about you as you think. TikTok is a black hole of content. Let's talk about TikTok, and boy, it's got some secrets. Right from the start, it's clear they weren't exactly putting us first. With loads of money and employees working all the time, they dove deep into understanding our brains like no other app before. Now, get ready for a shock. TikTok might know you better than you know yourself. Believe it or not, TikTok told its moderators to hush up posts from people who might not be considered super good-looking or well-off. They used this thing called a biometric mirror, like a smart mirror trained by fancy technology, to figure out how smart, attractive, weird, responsible, and emotionally stable you are. We all know social media is like a magnet, right? Imagine that buzz when you hear a notification on Discord or scroll through meme pages on Instagram. According to Harvard, sharing stuff about yourself on social media lights up the same happy parts of your brain as addictive things do, making those dopamine levels go up. But TikTok takes it up a notch. With a massive 800 million users every month, it's the fastest-growing social media thingy in the whole world. Leaked info spills the beans. Users spend about 1.5 hours on TikTok every single day. It's so addictive that you might find yourself stuck to it until the middle of the night. Ever had that moment when it's 8 p.m. and suddenly it's 2 a.m.? TikTok is like a black hole of content that's just too easy to get hooked on. You keep scrolling, and it's always something new, making you come back for more. So why is TikTok so darn addictive? Let's solve that mystery. TikTok knows more than you know about you. Let me tell you about alarming TikTok stories. It's got some tricks up its sleeve. Shelly Banjo, a reporter from Bloomberg Business, spilled the beans on how ByteDance, the company behind TikTok, works. Employees are supposed to clock in from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week, but truth be told, it's more like a non-stop 24-hour job. You're expected to be on call all the time, and it's no surprise that people often get worn out and leave because of the crazy workload. Now, let's talk about TikTok's unique way of knowing you. Unlike other platforms, TikTok's algorithm is a smarty pants. It doesn't care much about who you follow. It's all about what it thinks you might like. The moment you open the app, it bombards you with videos, and you don't even pick them. It suggests things, and you click away. It learns from what you click and keeps suggesting more, slowly figuring you out like a digital detective. Take Lauren Hemmings, for example. She just wanted some entertainment, so she downloaded TikTok. She never planned on making videos herself, just enjoying other stuff. But TikTok had different plans. Lauren followed a fitness influencer, and TikTok's algorithm noticed. Suddenly, her feed was full of weight loss videos, nudging her towards tracking calories obsessively. What started as a harmless habit turned into a serious issue. Lauren felt like she couldn't eat anything without knowing the calories, and it spiraled into an eating disorder. So, TikTok isn't just about fun dances and lip syncing. It's like a digital mind reader, shaping what you see based on your every click. It might know you better than you know yourself, and that can sometimes lead to unintended consequences. TikTok, a creepy biometric mirror. It's not just about cool videos and dances. When you sign up, it's not only finding out where you are, how old you are, and your gender. It goes a step further and gets a little too close for comfort. TikTok is into collecting something called biometric data, which means info about your face. Now here's the creepy part. In 2021, TikTok changed its policy to say it might collect stuff like your face's unique features, your biometric identifiers. Yeah, every time you make a video or use a filter, TikTok grabs a piece of your face data. And get this, it can even snatch info from the photos hanging out on your phone, even if you're not using the app. Sneaky, right? They're not just collecting this data for fun. TikTok uses fancy tech, like artificial intelligence, to create a sort of profile about you. It's not just about your face. They want to know how smart, attractive, weird, responsible, and even emotionally stable you are. I know, it sounds wild, but that's what they're up to. Imagine this thing called biometric mirror. It's like a smart mirror that uses artificial intelligence to figure out your smarts, attractiveness, weirdness, responsibility, and emotional stability just by looking at your face. It's like having a digital mind reader, and it doesn't stop there. TikTok can even tell if you're going through a tough time just by analyzing your face. Here's the kicker. When you're feeling low, TikTok might show you videos from others who are going through similar stuff. Sounds helpful, right? But it can also make you feel even worse. And guess what? TikTok doesn't really care about that. As long as you're staring at the screen, that's all that matters to them. It's a bit unsettling, isn't it? TikTok might know more about you than you think, and it's not always in your best interest. How TikTok is brainwashing its users, along with kids. Let's hear about a theory and some unsettling facts about TikTok. Now, remember, it's just a theory, but what happened in 2020 is not. Let's dive in. Back in 2020, The Intercept leaked some documents that revealed TikTok's moderation policies. These guidelines told TikTok moderators to avoid promoting posts from people with what they called abnormal body shape. This included being chubby, too thin, or having features like a spear or a big belly. They even targeted facial looks, avoiding posts from people with missing front teeth, obvious scars, or too many wrinkles. And get this, if the background wasn't up to TikTok's standards. No promotion, no slums, no cracks on walls, and no messy environments. TikTok wanted to show only fancy and appealing stuff to attract more users. Now that sounds a bit crazy, right? TikTok says they don't follow these guidelines anymore, but who really knows? I mean, take a look at TikTokers. Most of them are either attractive or just don't have these so-called deformities mentioned in the guidelines. But here's the kicker. The majority of TikTok users are underage. Now, TikTok's popularity with kids is undeniable, but it's not just kids who can't stay away. Recent investigations found that children as young as 8 are being groomed on TikTok. And if you're not sure what that means, it's when someone builds a trusting relationship with a child to manipulate them for their own desires. Let me share a real story. Chris and Haley's 10-year-old son downloaded TikTok. One day, after coming home from work, Chris found disturbing messages on his son's phone. Messages like, "I know who you are. I'll come and get you." Turns out, these messages were coming from TikTok and they were from adult men. Chris deleted the app, but the damage was done. Their son no longer felt safe walking to and from school with friends. So, while TikTok claims innocence, it's crucial for parents to be aware of what's happening on the platform. The influence on self-esteem and the potential dangers for young users are serious matters. Stay informed, stay vigilant. The absurd challenges. In the realm of social media, TikTok has gained notoriety for hosting some of the most unsettling challenges. Take, for instance, the absurdity of these trends. as if participants are vying for YouTube stardom at the cost of their well-being. A glaring example of the disturbing nature of TikTok challenges lies in a senseless trend where individuals attempt to hold their breath or apply pressure to their neck until they lose consciousness. Last year, tragedy struck when a 12-year-old boy, referred to as JH, participated in this perilous challenge. JH ended up on life support for 3 agonizing weeks after his twin brother discovered him. Picture the anguish of a 12-year-old witnessing such a harrowing scene. It's an indelible trauma. JH's father shared the heart-wrenching moment when doctors delivered the grim news of his son's impending demise, leaving him on his knees pleading for more time. Regrettably, JH was not the sole casualty of this perilous trend. Another victim, Na, an avid TikTok dancer, became ensnared by the challenge. Using her mother's purse in a misguided attempt, Na couldn't extricate herself in time. After a 5-day struggle in the hospital, she succumbed to the challenge, adding to the grim tally of failed attempts. Enter the Ben Challenge, an irrational feat involving the ingestion of excessive anti-allergy medication to induce hallucinations. Chloe, a promising 15-year-old student with aspirations of becoming a lawyer, fell victim to this senseless trend. Overdosing on medication robbed her of a future filled with promise, leading to grave consequences such as heart attacks, strokes, and irreversible brain damage. Kids, in their youthful exuberance, often feel invincible, oblivious to the potential dangers. When TikTok clout becomes the driving force behind such reckless challenges, disaster becomes an inevitability. The SB Challenge, featuring seemingly innocuous dance videos ending in malicious kicks, went viral and resulted in legal repercussions for some, as 2 New Jersey kids faced third-degree aggravated assault charges after inflicting a concussion on their unsuspecting victim. These trends are spiraling out of control, all for the fleeting satisfaction of online recognition. The pursuit of TikTok clout pushes thousands of youngsters worldwide to engage in perilous activities for a mere 40,000 likes. It begs the question, what has become of humanity? Reflecting on the fear of missing out, FOMO, the pressure to keep up with peers on social media can be overwhelming. While it's easy to feel envious of others' seemingly enjoyable lives on platforms like Instagram, it's crucial to remember that appearances can be deceiving. The desire for online validation should not overshadow the need for personal well-being. Is TikTok inherently bad? Not necessarily. It can offer a moment of relaxation or inspiration. Yet, as with all things in life, moderation is key. Balancing screen time with real-life experiences, taking breaks, and reconnecting with the world beyond the app are essential. Remember when we used to immerse ourselves in books, ride bikes, or gaze at the stars? Rediscovering these simple pleasures might just be the antidote to the intoxicating allure of TikTok. In the end, balance is not something you find, it's something you consciously create.